getting things set up here. I managed to actually get the map running in the game, so I tested it successfully. Now I'm gonna actually bake the lighting. That'll be fun. Actually, I don't think I really did. I hope you enjoyed that. That was like a song that I made like I don't know, over a year ago. I still like it. I never released it or anything, but I just I like it. So I need to add reflection probe, at least one of them, and then I can just set up all the lighting settings so that they match what they should be in the good old tutorial that I'm reading that was actually made by one of the level designers on Stress Level 0, so not sure what to do here, if I should just add one reflection probe for the whole thing, because there's not really much going on, but baked density, if I just like set this to 50, is that fine? You know, we're gonna find out. And I guess I'll just put it in this room here, or I don't know, I'll put it in this tunnel, like it was. Why not? Let's find out what is going to happen. And I also still don't know what these blinding white lights are, but I'm not that worried about it. So I'm going to open up the tutorial I was looking at because it has a direct screenshot telling me what settings I should use. And you can't see me putting in the settings, so I'll just leave it on this anyway. Okay, I want it on GPU, of course. Or 2, 4 max bounces. Filtering we have set to advanced. I'll be able to get this so I don't have to keep doing that. Okay. I need more screens. Okay, we got optics. A torus. What does this now look like? I'm curious because I probably messed it up. Hey, you can still see it. Sigma grind set, optics, set A torus as well. 20 for resolution. 2 for padding still. 2048 for map size. High quality. Turn on ambient occlusion. Max distance of 1, 1, 0. Directional. Both all the same. Okay. Real-time GI. I don't know where that section is. Light map parameters. I don't know why Unity has these as a separate thing, but whatever. I tweak these far less often. The only setting that really matters is backface tolerance. You want to set that to 0 to get rid of some artifacts. It says at the bottom of the light map settings is light map parameters. But where? Light map parameters. It says at the bottom of the light map settings. What light map settings, though? Maybe in project settings somewhere. Lighting or you know, I'm not gonna worry about it right now. It should be fine. Let's just hit generate lighting and see what it does. Away it goes. Another thing that I wanted to do was go ahead and add in. Not good. Here we go. Take it out of orthographic mode. I want to add some weapons and stuff in here, and maybe some enemies. Or I can just add the dev gun. Not the dev manipulator. I want the what is it called? The gun that lets you spawn things. Oh no, the sky is blue. That's not what I wanted. Is it done? That's not. This doesn't look right. Oh, it's probably because I didn't actually set up the UVs yet, which I don't want to do, so we're not worried about how it looks right now. I'm not going to worry about baking the lighting. That's going to be important way later on when I actually want it to look good, so we'll just worry about the light map baking later, and for now I just want to add in that one gun that lets you spawn things, but I literally forgot what they call it in the game. Lets you open a menu. Spawn gun? That's gotta be what it is. So I have to add that in somehow. I don't know how to do that. Let's go back to the YouTube channel and try to learn. Try to learn something. This is the Blender tutorial, a project setup guide. Maybe it's in here somewhere. Balcony assets, warehouse preview. I know I saw it somewhere. Let me try in-depth tutorial on avatars. Was it in the that was the one I was just on, right? So let me try workflow recommendations. And no, it doesn't Doesn't appear to be in this this tutorial. I'll just look it up myself. Let me close this while I'm surfing the open web. I'm looking up how to add items to the level mod. Here's a video by iPop.
I'm going to be teaching you how to make a map for Bonelab. So let's get started.
I've definitely
First off,
seen
you
this
want to
channel
open
before.
up the Bonelab, and it worked properly. And now we're in our map. Everything
So
looks
he's got it
fine,
set
and
up.
in-game, there's no more darkness surrounding anything at all. It's just this background right here. But guys, I think that's it for this video. I plan on making a much more updated one once more tools for the SDK and maps come out. So definitely stay tuned for that. So if you guys like the video, please leave a like, comment, and
showed how to. What is this? Is this like a Dark Souls map or something? Oh, it's Hogwarts. Same thing, basically. Oh my god, all of those are physics objects. That's cool.
Comment and subscribe. Helps out the channel a ton. Thanks for watching.
Oh, I am subscribed. Okay, yeah, I don't think he added an actual...
encompass the entire area that you're playing in. So if you don't want it to be black like this, all you need to do is cover it in a sphere, which I'll show you how to do right now. All you're going to want to do is create a new in our
So he didn't actually add any objects to the level, it doesn't look like.
Paste it here as well. Makes it a little bit.
Alright, how is this accomplished? I've seen it. I've seen it. The full palette for essential items in Bonelab level creation. With tools import palette. You use the items, create a new game object in your scene, then give it the spawnable crate placer component. From there, you should have a picker for the crate you want to use, so you can simply choose any item for the game of your choosing. Okay. Spawnable crate placer component. Boy! Alright. Put my coffee down, because we are rocking and rolling. Okay, add a new game object to the scene. I'm guessing it can be an empty game object. Shouldn't matter. Probably best. And then, you know what, I'm just going to put it in the middle of the floor right in front of the spawn point. And then, I already forgot the name of the thing. Spawnable crate placer. Void! Woo! Okay, and then, I'm sorry. Being so crazy. On-place event? Was there any mention of an on-place event? No. That's okay. We just put the spawn gun in there. Hell yeah! Then, I don't know what this does, but I'm just gonna try it. Let's just give it a shot, shall we? Well, why did these get messed up? They're all out of whack. Oh my gosh. Alright, I'm gonna have to completely redo that. That's weird. But let me... Oh yeah, I wanted to add enemies too. Just for fun, you know, just for fun. Let me keep adding on to my floor colliders here. I feel like I can just add a cube to this, and then put that cube here, and then make it work real quick. I think that's probably the fastest way to make floors. That looks okay. I'm not glad that this lump is here, but should be good enough. Should be hard to notice. I don't know. It's a lot easier to notice these things in VR, but I'm hoping for the best. Let's see. Then I have to duplicate this for the ceiling as well. And let's just do that again. And again, and again, and again. Cube in. Right size. So that's fine. Great to me. Beautiful. Off the renderer. This guy. Maybe I can just get away with a little easier. Also, ceiling. And oh, I also have to do all the mesh colliders for these, but does this not even have a... Okay. This is the last one that has a collider, so that makes sense. Does that look beautiful? This tunnel. As long as I do this as I go, it really shouldn't be too much of a burden. You know, that's just what making games is. It's a lot of tedious stuff. And I was trying to avoid doing too much tedious shit on stream, but here we are. Because I want to test it, but I didn't put colliders yet, so you know, this is gonna happen. It's gonna happen sometime. Alright. Trying really hard to kind of cover up the parts of the floor that are not flat, because those are parts that you're just gonna be able to essentially pass right through and get hidden behind the geometry. What we're trying to avoid. Okay, that looks good. And that. Oh, I can just do all the ceilings last. That would be easiest. Some overlap, not too much. Okay. Actually, just tilt this a little bit. This, I think, is actually, this is like sinking down into it. Actually, I think I just fixed it. Oh, hell yeah. It was kind of sticking out, or they were like sticking into each other, but it looks fine now. Oh, I don't have to add enemies because I'm just straight adding the void gun, or adding the item spawner gun, so no worries there. Spawn whatever I want in this cave. Anything. Alright, I would say this is going fairly well. Not taking too much time. A bit, but make sure that the rotation is like reasonable. Kind of like the idea of having like very few level hallways kind of thing. Then you'll end up kind of end up in a situation where everything rolls. Anything round is just gonna roll around, and you have to like catch it, or can't just like, I don't know. You can use that to your advantage probably. Surely. Is that good? Oh man, looks fine. Reasonable. Seems reasonable. All right. Yeah. These. And I'm just gonna duplicate them all. Take them into the ceiling. There is a ceiling already, but this is just like for extra protection. Always be protected. Yeah. Yep. We done? This one needs a roof. All right, looks great. I think. Yeah, I made it a little bit too small. Okay. Are we good? Have colliders on the whole thing. Got the spawner for the gun. Everything should work. I want to test it. I want to. So let's go here. Asset warehouse. Boo boo boo. Cave test. Scene. This one. Generate packed assets, I guess. I don't know. And then I just want to pack this. Hopefully this doesn't take as long as it took the first time, because boy, it took a hot minute. You can't even see the progress, but oh, it actually already finished. That's wonderful. Now I'm going to drag this into my Bonelab mod folder. And delete the old one, drag in the new one. Then we'll just run the laboratory of bones. See how it works? Where's the other controller? There it is. I'm opening the game. You should be able to see it. Be able to see the game loading and me still. I'm watching on my phone to see if you can, in fact, still see the game. Or see the game and me and the chat. Oh, you can also still see Unity. That's a problem. No need to fret, though. Now it's gone. Yeah. All right. There we go. Let me see if I can actually get the chat to stay open to play the game. Cool. Now I can just kind of look up and see the chat real quick. All right. I don't know if there's an easier way to do it than just going through the hub every time. There has to be, right? Look that up. We're here. Alright, let's see what we got. This is exciting. We're in. This is cool, man. I'm having a fun time. First, let me get a smaller guy. Get a nice big. Really high up. It's really hard to add like organic colliders to these things, guys. It's hard, man. There is a way, though. There is a way. I'm gonna spawn in some fire mages. It'd be great. Go ahead and go through with that. Oh no! No! This is why. This is why. Test. Alright, how do I, Oh, it's just gonna restart. Okay. That was good. That was good time. Clearly there is a gap in my colliders. Oh snap, you're not seeing it in a first person perspective. How about that? Now that is not what I expected, I must say. Not to say that the view you have is bad, but I really wasn't prepared for that. This is me over here. Hi. The hell? Is there like a... How do I like... I can't move this, like, spectator camera. What is this? Why? Alright, I'll just spawn in a, I'll spawn in a guy right here and fight him so you can at least see that. What the heck? Bastards. And we'll just add a nice skeleton fire mage. There we go. Okay. You know what? They seem... Okay. So does their AI just like automatically figure out the pathfinding, or I have to add pathfinding? Oh! I hadn't considered that until just this moment. They might not move. Oh god. They might not be able to move. If I go over here, are they gonna follow me? I don't think they can follow me. They can sure float above the ground. Oh no. Went into slow motion mode. Oh, did I die? Okay, this is weird. Okay, I just remembered that you're seeing it from a very strange angle. Alright, that's enough for that. That was less exciting than I was hoping for, but you know, you gotta do what you can. Where's Steam go? Here it is. Whoa, 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 whoa. Here we go. Alright, everybody, we're back. We're back. Is there anybody out there? I gotta watch this back real quick just to see like what it looks like from the outside. Yeah, I wasn't expecting it to have like a spectator camera. I don't know why it's like that. I would rather it not be. I would prefer it not be, frankly. Alright, so first of all, these fellas were floating very far off the surface of the cave floor. So let's get to the bottom of that right now. Go to the colliders. Probably go to this first one here. And it doesn't look that bad from the outside, but quite to our misfortune, it is that bad. So I'm gonna try the old copy the rotation trick. Paste that said rotation to this thing. And then rotate it 90 degrees this way. Yeah. And then move it down. I don't know, guys. Is it better to have them like going through the floor a little bit or floating a little bit? Or should I really just go back and fine tune the tunnel parts so that the floors are really flat? Any answers here? Okay, let me just keep refining the colliders a bit, and then we'll keep working on the level. I'm gonna take a break here in a minute. Probably easier to do all this with the visuals on. Gotta be honest. You can have little steps. Not a big deal. As long as there's, you know, overlap and there's no gaps in between them. It's okay. This is like kind of there we go. Now we're talking. Yeah. It would probably be in my best interest to adjust the cave so that the floors are actually more flat. The idea here is that these caves are kind of like used communally by the people of this area, so it would make sense to have the floors be well used and completely flat, essentially. Plus, I can add in little details here and there, but I mean, I'm no Hideo Kojima, you know, like I'm just trying to make something serves something that is fun. I'm not, you know, a AAA producer making hyper realistic caves here. I'm doing the best I can. And I think the best I can is probably utilizing the flat floors. It's gonna be a flat floor nation. Where was the gap? I definitely fell through the floor right here. This whole thing has a collider on it that seems to overlap with the floor, so there shouldn't be any issues. Turn the render back off on all these. So, yeah, I don't think too much will be lost if I go ahead. Here's Blender, and here's my colliders and my actual tunnel pieces. So I'm going to select all of them and go into edit mode, select the bottom part. And this part is tricky because they're not like quite uniform enough out the gate that I can just do this, but should be able to just get like a minimal amount of each one. Feels like a bit too much of each one, maybe. I don't know. Very tedious, you know. Probably when I'm making future tunnels, it'll be easier to process them because I'll wait until like much later in the process to sort of separate them out into separate meshes. Right now, I feel like part of the frustration is that if I want to select like the same part of all of them, I have to do it 30 times, you know. So in the future, when I'm making tunnels, I'll have the whole thing in the shape that I want before I separate them into different pieces. But we're still in the phase of like not really knowing what everything is going to exactly come out like. Alright, so I'm going to take this and just make it flatter. See how that's doing. I think that might be sufficient. In some places it's actually harming it. I have to be careful. That's kind of the challenge here, is that make it flat without making anything intersect or do anything weird. I just do 0, right? What does that do? It makes it so everything I've selected is perfectly flat, and then things around it are kind of affected by that. For the most part, it looks fine, but having issues here and there. Figure out like what parts I need to have selected and what. Is it upside down right now? Probably because I'm working on the bottom. I don't know. That looks okay, I think. Let me check the rest of it. Flat. Everything's pretty much flat. Is it just so I can... much more easily actually add colliders to the floor, because if it's all bumpy, then it's much harder to add colliders to the floor. Because I'm making them out of cubes. That's the most efficient, well, sphere is the most efficient collider, but cubes are the most efficient way to make like a flat, relatively flat surface. I don't know, let's try it like that. And add my archways back in, and then I can just go over to my export settings, make sure I don't export this collision meshes folder, but instead into the models folder. Click export. Then I just have to drag it into my Unity project. Replace the files. Go right back into Unity. And things look a little bit different now, so. Have to probably make some small adjustments here and there. But overall, yeah, as you can see now, the floor is like basically perfectly flat everywhere. And I've just come to the conclusion that that's kind of necessary. You know, I kind of also wanted to make the tunnels just a little bit taller in general. See this? This is a problem. So how am I going to fix that? Because these are clearly overlapping here. My hope was I could just tuck it away under there. I guess I'll just make this one part longer. Ah, see. That's what happened. What am I gonna do? First of all, turn on grid snapping. That'll help. I don't know where this one goes. All the floors are filled in. Top ones that don't seem to be fine with the grid, and the rest of this stuff. Grab all of these. Try to line them up with the grid. Axes. Yeah. Then I just need to grab the rest of them. I'm just lining all these up. Line them up on every axis. So, and it's still not good. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Just gonna start over on this room later. For now, I'm just gonna forget about it. Which literally means I could have just done nothing here, but I could have just deleted that and done nothing else, but for the hell of it, I'm just gonna leave this here. I don't understand. I have absolute grid snapping turned on, I think. Could be just that the object that they're like on top of is not. So let me try. I'm wasting too much time on this, but yeah, forget it. Forget about it. All right, I'm gonna take a quick 5-minute break, and we'll be right back. Anybody out there still? I don't think anybody's even watching right I have returned. I have to extend this. Let's take this and kind of just move it off here for a moment as I duplicate this. Turn it off of grid snapping. Line this up. Pretty good. My cat is still yelling at me. I just tried to play fetch with her, but she refused to bring the mouse back, so I don't know how she expects me to play fetch with her when she doesn't bring the mouse back. Don't worry, I'll play with her later. Free. That's what the problem is. Too far away. Now this I can attach back to this. And then adjusting everything so it's right. And again, everything did change slightly on account of the fact that I changed models. So that's why we're having issues. This is a problem. We might just not need a large arch here. And instead, another small arch. This one is large also. I don't know what to make of that. Let's grab a small arch. Shoot. Bring this over here. Connect these. Eventually I'm gonna have to unwrap all the tunnels, and I'll do that off stream because that's really boring. And yeah, see that. I don't need to be subjected to that, he said to all the people watching, which was no one. Okay. Let me get the hierarchy sorted here. Yeah, I guess I adjusted everything to be too small for these larger arches somehow. Maybe. Let me just duplicate this arch and bring it on over. I need to make this arch just a little bit bigger. That it fills thing. That looks fine, I guess. A little higher up than I would like, but too bad. Okay. That's all the dungeon is so far. But let me fix the colliders. To move these down, their new locations. Get these lined up. Why is it like that? I think that's okay. Then, oh, I have to add the mesh colliders to all these as well, still. This is a little annoying. Let me just go back to the old tried and true copy rotation method. Copy rotation. Why doesn't that work? I'm so confused. Rotation of this. If I paste it to this, just not right. Maybe doesn't make sense to me. Unless no, I got nothing. Gonna have to live with it, I guess. I'm gonna rot my brain trying to do this. Plus it's hard as fuck to see. Just give all the colliders like just like remove the material so they're pink. Guess not. Okay. Add a material. Now I can see the floor better. I'll just make it as precise as I can get it while maintaining my sanity. It's a survival game. Making a game is in and of itself a survival game. Most people don't recognize this fact. But I've been saying it forever. I'm just kidding. I've never said that before in my life. Okay. I'm just gonna give that a go. And hope for the best. The ceilings are like okay. You know, the main goal of the ceilings is just to like provide a stronger seal or cap so things don't fly through the ceiling ideally. What I'm trying to accomplish there. Let's look at the rest of them and oh, no floor here. Looks great. Okay. Make it a little bit bigger so we have that overlap. We don't fall through the world. I want to get this as close to the floor of the tunnel as possible. Because it's really obvious in VR if something is not quite touching the collider. That's like the most obvious thing. And this is like a physics-based game, so kind of takes you out of it if everything's floating. So this is the lengths I must go to for exactly this reason. Okay. That tunnel. Sorry this is boring. I didn't want to do anything like this on stream, but sometimes it happens. In order to like test the game properly, yeah. And I need to look into pathfinding. They did spawn some enemies and they didn't want to move. See? So guessing that is related to pathfinding. Alright. I am feeling good about this new red material though, because it makes it a lot easier to see what I am doing. And ready to figure out how some things work. So, got all my colliders. Apparently I don't have ceilings for these ones. Thought I had one at least for that one. Yeah, I'm only actually missing one. Right, that. Oh, I have to add mesh colliders to all the cave walls. So I'll just go through. Guess I'll go sandstone. Select all the ones that aren't arches. What the heck? The heckin' dog is all this? Why can't I? Alright. So I just want to deselect all the arches and add mesh colliders to all the walls. I haven't worked out how I'm going to actually do the arches yet. In terms of their colliders, I'm not too worried about that yet. I've been sitting quite far away from the microphone, so it's probably pretty hard to hear me. Alright, mesh collider. Be fine. And for the ones that already have mesh colliders, they now have two, so one of them. Each of these, remove the created. And then I just have to go to my collision meshes folder. And I can just drag these in under the mesh option for the mesh collider for each tunnel piece. We have this straight 05. All I have to do is go to straight 05 collider and drag that into the mesh of the mesh collider. We get that. 50. We just gotta do that for all these. Straight 03. $90.01. All straight 3, so I can reuse, I can just select them all at the same time. .01, straight 01, or straight 05. And just this last one, the T Fat 02. Great. So now I should have a fully collidered section of my tunnel so far. But one thing I'd like to do, add a quick material for the cave walls. I just want to set the color to like a nice yellowish orange tan color. Just select all of them. Wow, that's kind of annoying. Why is that happening? Got this path section here, and it's just like showing a bunch of crap that's actually just in my way. deselect all the arch ones. I'm sure there's a way to search without including the arch, and I'll have to probably do that in the future when I have more. But for now, I'm not that worried about it. Material, add sandstone, wrong one. Sandstone cave. And that just with this. And right out the gate, by the way, this is not lined up. Just need to adjust it slightly. Is that good? Please. Okay. Sick. And eventually I'm going to improve things by parenting the actual colliders that are used for each tunnel piece to the tunnel pieces themselves. That'll probably make it easier to edit. And when I duplicate them, it will hopefully just make it all around straightforward to do. Alright, so how do I add pathfinding or something? Alright, let's see. Bonelab. Custom level pathfinding. I really don't know how the AI works.
Hey guys, I'm going to show you how to add the base game spawnable items as well as custom physics materials to objects in your own Bonelab levels.
I don't know
First
if this is what I
grab
need.
the palette with the base game spawnables from
I already did that.
Really quickly go over what I had to do to get this little level going in Bonelab, and a bit of geometry that you see in the level is just a 3D object cube.
Oh, maybe I have to set that would make sense. It might just be that I have to set all the colliders to static. I wasn't doing that because they're not because I was thinking that just applies to light baking, but it certainly could apply to that good old pathfinding. So now with them all set to static, let me just finish the video and make sure it doesn't do anything extra.
Cube. It's fast to go ahead and lay things out that way, and they already have you just move them and scale them like you want for now. One requirement, you just create a layer marker. Now for all this static geometry in my level, you actually want to make sure that you set it as static.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and you want to make sure that you go up here to the corner and check static for all of your static level geometry. That way it knows what to bake when you bake your lights. Alright, I'm just going to click off in the middle of nowhere. I don't have a skybox in here. It'll just be black in the game. Just because I don't care for this test level. All you need to do is invert scale a cube or a sphere or whatever you want to do and put a texture on there.
Mm-hmm.
To get the base game spawnable item, have Bonelab add component, and you're going to add the spawnable.
Oh, AI navigation. Here we go.
We're going to go to Window, AI, Navigation. You can see we've already got a nav mesh baked. This is what your AI enemies will need to be able to move around and chase you, that kind of thing. These settings here, probably okay. They do mention that in their the stress level 0 documentation for best practices, I believe it's 30 degrees for max slope. So I've set that here. And then you're just gonna click bake. And then you should be able to come and inspect. Once you're done, you'll get something like this. And this blue is your walkable surfaces. You'll see that they could walk up that slope. So if you wanted to make sure they could get up a ramp or upstairs or whatever, you're able to check it here. The next thing I did in my case, because I've got my directional light set to mixed mode, was bake my lighting.
Okay, so he bakes his lighting then. Yeah, that's what I figured it was something like. So let's see if that actually goes fine. AI navigation, bake. Do 30 degrees for the max slope, like he said. Did he have something set for the jump distance slash, oh, I've still got the, I need to do that. Jump distance and drop height, he's just got set to 0. Okay. So, bake. Wow. These are not quite sufficient, I must say. So it's looks like every one has at least something, except this one. Let's make the max slope higher, like 45. Shoot. This isn't more than a 45-degree slope. I don't think. I don't know why it's turning out like that. Let me set these to something. Dang, man. Not really getting any better, and I set these to 1, I don't know. So I need to bake it so that sliders. Just need to, maybe it's a height problem. It was a height problem. Okay, so maybe I should actually just make the caves a little bit taller. Alright. Go ahead and do that then. Shouldn't be too much drama involved in that. Although I will be right back because I need to use the restroom. Okay. Okay, let's make this tunnel a little bit taller. Select both. Select everything. Is this affecting both collections? I don't really know. I don't think so. So let's set the cursor to the floor. Even a little bit lower. And then I'm going to scale based on the 3D cursor point. Yep, a little bit tall. I don't know, like 1.5. Watch. 0.3, I guess, maybe. Oh, okay, we did change both meshes. That's fantastic. And as far as floor goes, they should all still be flat. Let's export them both out with the models. Put the colliders to the collider folder. Copy both of those to the folder in my Unity folder. Files, glitches. Accidentally didn't copy it and I just straight sent it over. Okay. Now we go into Unity and we should see taller tunnels. I didn't export the new. Somehow I didn't export the new. Wait. Did it do anything? It did the tunnels. Didn't do the arches. Which you can't see. Oh, you can see that. So could you not see what I was doing in Blender? I guess not. I'm a mess. I'll get better at stream. Okay, you know, it takes time. It takes a little bit of time. Models, accept, export. All right. Drag the models folder in. Place the files, and the arches still didn't change. How about that? That's odd. Let me select all the arches, I guess, and oh wait, some of them did. Not all of them. Peculiar and annoying. Oh my gosh, I keep forgetting to switch it over. See anything I'm doing. I have no idea what I'm doing. Alright, I'm pissed, but I'm gonna fix all of these now. Alright, everything seems fine for the most part. Everything seems fine for the most part. Most of the arches are messed up. Hold on. Okay. Just making sure that I get them all. This is such a pain. I wish I knew why they didn't update automatically. Why do I have to subject myself to this? Alright, God help me every time I have to update these arches. I don't know why. Like this. I think the reason I'm getting frustrated is that I've spent so long on this one section of the cave, but I'm just working out the kinks. I'm not kink shaming this cave. That's something I need to avoid. It'll be a lot more exciting, once I've got the workflow. This has all been just kind of trying to work out the workflow. Alright. Go back to navigation. Go ahead and fix this up. I think I can probably set the height back to 2. This seems to really narrow things up, so set the agent height to like 1.5. Fine for the most part, but there's this one part where they can't even cross. Alright, we'll set the agent height to 1 just so we get something usable, and then I will go ahead and test it out. We're having fun here. Everybody's having a great time. Alright, I'm gonna go and pack it. That shouldn't take too much time. Take nearly as long every time. The first time. Okay, so it packed it. All I have to do is drag this into the mod folder, and then I'll go ahead and launch Bonelab and see what it looks like so far. Really, visually speaking, I don't really care what it looks like so far. There it is. Okay. Replace it. And let's launch the game. I have a spawner gun in there so I can spawn some enemies and whatnot and have fun. Okay. Let's get the game running. Why can't I see my mouse? Alright. Looking. Get Unity out of the way. I don't know if there's a faster way to load into the test and load in to test the level than just going through the hub. Can anybody let me know if that's possible? It has to be. Because this game takes ages to load, even though I have it on my SSD as opposed to my hard drive. And it would be nice to not have to take like 5 whole minutes to load into the level just what's going on. Okay. Okay, it's taking its time. Here we go. Right. We're in the lab of bones. Going into the hub. These loading screens should be shorter than the other one. How much sense does that make, really? Like, why would the main menu take longer to load in than the level itself? I don't know. Never know. Alright, finally. Load up. Cave test. Woo! Okay. I don't know why this is flickering all over the place. I don't know if you can see that. Oh yeah, it's doing the spectator thing, so that's not ideal, I must say. You can't see it from my perspective. I must say that's not great. You can see, let me get a nice sword in here. A nice entity in here that should be able to run around now. So here, I'll grab my sword, which is a little bit in the ground, but that's okay. So far, it's already much better than it was before. All right. So I apologize that you're seeing this in the perspective that you are, but let's make sure everything's working. Ow. Yeah. This is great. Oh, I died. I think I died in one hit, actually. Alright. Well, this is cool. I'm very excited. And it feels a lot better with being the amount taller that I made it. It actually feels way better. So, you probably can't even see me right now. I've walked off screen, which is unfortunate. I need to learn how to make it show from my perspective instead of that weird spectator view. But yeah, I think this is going well. Might as well get back to working on it, because yeah, it's not great to not be able to see it. Sorry about that. But neat. We're one step closer. And I know the lighting is completely wrong. I'm going to fix that later, but I'm just not worried about it right now because it's kind of a hassle. And I would have to unwrap all the cave pieces. Right now they're just not, they're not even unwrapped, so that's a whole entire process that I don't want to do on stream because it's really boring. Yeah, what should I do? What should I do? What should I do next? Probably just figure out how to get it out of spectator mode. That's pretty weird. Bonelab, custom level spectator camera instead of first person. Oh. Let me see if it's in the FAQ on the Discord. Is there another camera in the scene or something? Like, what's going on? Oh, there is a camera in the scene. I think that's the reason. Okay. That has to be the reason. Okay, so now it should be fine. I guess the next thing for me to work on is rebuilding this room down here. And then next time, probably tomorrow, I will work on I forgot what I was gonna say. But oh, tomorrow I'm going to finish working on the bone stack texture that I was creating. And I'm gonna make a little modular piece that I can sort of decorate the hallways with, because this hallway right here, kind of the idea is like where the player starts, that's like close to the entrance of the cave, and then you turn right and you're coming down this hallway. It's going to be like a just full of stacks of bones. And then over here, this room that I'm creating now is going to be like a crypt room, like where they store like the important people after they die. But I'm starting to reconsider that because there's not really any room above it. So I might have to make it be on this side and have just like a little treasure room in here probably. So let's make the treasure room. Not the treasure room. This is the crypt room, or like the like a tomb room, like in a Skyrim or something. You've seen these types of rooms. I want to make it cut out to there, and I made these pieces that sort of fit together to make like a the appearance of sort of a rounded like dirt hole sort of style. It's aligned to the grid, and then I made these corner pieces as well. So I made a few different variations of the corners. How's everyone's day going? If someone could send something in the chat, that would let me know that anyone is out there. And, I'd love to know your thoughts. Or just interact with you. Or you can just lurk. Or put it on in the background, you know. I'm thinking this kind of stream will just be for like people to kind of put on in the background, maybe while they're working on their own kind of projects or anything like that. I think I'm going to yeah, all these walls are gonna have like tombs in them. This one up, down. Mm-hmm. I am just moving these to the other sides to add a little bit of variation. And I've yet to create the wall tile that's gonna have the little like person-sized hole in it for like the grave, so I have to make that still, but it's going well. It's going well. Grab all the floor pieces and duplicate them up. Ceiling. Guess I missed one. Weird. Yeah, so that's gonna be that room. Probably put a few enemies in here, put some good loot in there, and then over here is just gonna be another kind of room, but I haven't made any pieces that are like dead ends, so I'll have to do that. And so that's going to be this part of the section, or the part of the dungeon. So you kind of come in here, and you can turn right. There's going to be some enemies in this hallway. It's full of bones. And you can come into here, and this is like, maybe there'll be like a harder enemy or like a bunch of enemies in here, and then like just some loot right here. And then these will go off in two different directions for some reason. I don't know. Probably an idea that I had was to make some pieces that are kind of separated by like cracks in the earth, like fissures, kind of like from an earthquake or something. And then other places where they actually built like holes that you can't just get over to like protect their valuables. And the lore to like the civilization that built these tunnels, they're extremely wealthy due to their like place in the economic like situation of the world, but they don't really have any like political affiliations. They're just kind of like transporters, and they charge a high tax on all the goods that they transport. So they're like a very grounded, down to earth kind of civilization, and the culture is that of like, you know, very against imperialism, like self-sufficiency, freedom, personal freedom, all that kind of thing. So these crypts are just gonna have like so much silver and gold and stuff in them. But in order to get to it, you kind of have to like you do some physics puzzles, some kind of physics. Like for the holes, like I was thinking they would be cut off by like some kind of crack in the earth by like an earthquake. And you have to bring, you know, a board or something to create a platform to get across. You know, very basic stuff like that. Somehow I can try to make it more interesting than that, but you get the general idea I'm going for. So I wanted to, I wanted to just kind of start building out a dungeon. So now that I've kind of got the workflow figured out, and I'm kind of in a place where I feel like, okay, I'm ready to move forward. Now I'm going to, maybe I'll like draw out on paper like what I want the map to be like. Apologies. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream here for today so I can make myself some lunch. And yeah, thank you for watching. I hope everybody has a nice day.